Hello and welcome to On the Point podcast, an Overwatch podcast for, well, all things Overwatch. We're going to have a heavy focus on Overwatch League, but we'll be discussing rosters, we'll be discussing matches we've played, meta changes, basically everything. We're going to have some fun.
Yeah, we're here to pretty much go over all of it and just talk about a game we love.
So we're doing a bit of an expert and casual dynamic. I am the casual, I'm Katie. My main Overwatch role is usually support. I will go Reaper if we do a DPS because Rudy Tooty point and shooty is always a good thing to have in your back pocket. But for yeah, I can't not call him that.
Fair enough.
But for the most part, I am a Mercy Zenyatta Moira main with a good amount of Symmetro when I feel like we need it. I'm the casual in this relationship. I like Overwatch League. I have a really good time. I can discuss the meta. I kind of know how things work. When we start talking about recruitment practices and who's a better main tank, that's when I start nodding and going, yeah, okay, no, tell me more. And of course, my team of choice is the LA Valiant. Those of you who know me know. And we're doing fun facts with this introduction. And my fun fact is that I am terminally unable to take Overwatch as a whole seriously.
And what exactly does that mean?
It means that I love the game, but I also understand that the game is cartoon superheroes. Like this came about when they introduced Wrecking Ball, and
Oh, gotcha.
and a lot of people were really angry about it.
And
And on
everyone's
one
like,
hand, well, some people were upset because we got that image of old Overwatch, as people have been calling it, of Jack and Anna and them, and their with them. And people really wanted that to be the next hero release. And I completely understand that. Like, yes, please. So I can understand why people would be upset about not seeing her yet, but given what Overwatch has done with its character releases, I would not be surprised if she became a hero later on down the line. I just think they've had Hammond in their back pocket for a chunk of time. But
oh,
the
and they.
people,
Sorry.
go ahead,
I was
go
saying
ahead.
they did drop references to him in Horizon.
Yeah, yeah, they're really good at building in hero backstories into other lore drops, into references on the map, all sorts of fun stuff. But the people that I really just kind of made me laugh were the people who showed up on the forums and got really, really mad because Wrecking Ball ruins the serious tone of the game. And I'm sitting here going, your main villain, the guy who's the head of this terrorist organization, is named Doomfist. Doom Fist. And then when I was explaining the game to a friend and talked about how Doomfist was the third one to hold that title, she goes, "Oh, he's Doomfist the third." And I went, "Oh my God. Oh my God, he's Doomfist the third." So in game, in lore, in character, yeah, all of these characters have really great backstories, incredible designs. Like the talent is a massive threat. Out of character, Doomfist the third. This
It's
is cartoon superheroes.
yeah, it's one of those things where like if you look at the Incredibles, it's still bright color, bright colorful pastel, heroes and that. And it acknowledges the goofiness of the genre it's working with here. You can still tell a compelling story and create an interesting world and characters and all that, but
Oh yeah.
never lose sight of the fact that we also have a hyper intelligent gorilla scientist from the moon who shoots people with lightning. This
And
is
he
some
is one of our introductions to the game.
yeah,
Our introductions to the game are three, possibly four, of the more ridiculous characters on the roster.
it's some
Because
goofy
we have,
stuff and I love it.
oh yeah. And our first cinematic is we get that introduction to Doomfist Gauntlet, but the ones we see in action are Winston, Reaper, who is Edgelord Mick Hot Topic, Rudy Tooty Point and Shooty, who has infinite guns and turns into smoke. He's like a 7-year-old Edgelord's first OC, and I love him. Like he's a great character, but oh boy, I have trouble taking him seriously. Widowmaker, who is about 70% dead, and Tracer, who is oddly enough the most normal one of the lot, and
Yeah.
also our poster girl.
Mm-hmm. She's the Pikachu.
She is. She is. She is our beautiful lesbian Pikachu, and I love her.
And on that note, I should get to my intro, which is I am CJ. I am a main tank, hopefully getting Diamond, not Diamond, Masters this season. I'm so close. I am I hesitate to call myself an expert, but I have a problem and I follow this scene very closely and have since the Overwatch Apex days and pretty much when Fuel was still known as Envious and IDDQD. So I
You've been here a while.
I've been here a while, and unsurprisingly, from using that example, my team of choice is the Dallas Fuel. It's kind of hard not to love them when you saw that miracle run through Apex after signing Mickey and their insane 57 game win streak before that. My fun fact about myself, I guess, is that I am obsessed with tabletop RPGs. I love D&D and the Star Wars stuff by Fantasy Flight, and it's just a hobby that I invest way too much time and money in.
So, what's your preferred class then for, say, D&D?
Depends what I'm feeling. Like right now I'm playing a rogue, but I tend to do more like frontline fightery types. I play paladins a lot, which I know that people like immediately roll their eyes like, oh, lawful stupid, flanderized
Paladins are
nonsense.
fun.
They are, but they get a bad rep in D&D for people playing what's called lawful stupid instead of lawful good. This is a side tangent here.
Well, we are going to have side tangents on this podcast. It's just
Oh
what's going
yeah,
to happen.
it's true.
Um, but yeah, they've recently relaxed the rule about paladins must be lawful good.
Yeah, and
And
I'm
so,
personally okay with that because there's gods of
oh,
all
yeah.
different alignments. They're gonna have different codes.
Well, and I'm playing a neutral good paladin in one of my games, so she's not afraid to bend a few rules to make things happen.
Nice.
So and for everyone who's like, oh no, well, I don't like paladins. Do you like Brigitte? Brigitte's a paladin. Hold on.
That's a bad example considering how many people who play this game tilt super hard about Brigitte.
It's because they know she's great. I have seen the same people saying, paladins are boring, go, oh, I really like Brigitte. I'm like, you unsalted walnut. They're the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have opinions on this podcast, capital O opinions.
Just a bit, just a bit.
Yeah, so this is our introductory episode. This is what it's going to be for a bit. It's the two of us talking about things, talking about all things Overwatch. We at the time of this recording, we just had that string of releases from all
Mm-hmm.
the different teams, and it's a few days until they start opening up signings. So
Yeah.
it should be interesting.
Yeah, in 2 days we'll have the sort of trade drop renew period end. And then starting on the September 9th, we get open season for the new expansion teams to pick up free agent players that have been dropped by Overwatch League teams that are coming up through contenders. We'll see some big stuff happening, and we'll talk a bit more about that on the official first episode, those cuts and
Yeah, so
possible
episode
pickups.
one's definitely going to be a big one and definitely going to be focused on that. But before we really get into that in depth, what would you like to see this coming season for Overwatch League? Just pie in the sky, anything. What would you want to see?
Okay, okay. I'm gonna say three things here,
Hmm.
which is one, I want a tweak to the playoff format a bit
Mm,
because the grand final was kind of a letdown that you only had one game each day. Like a bronze medal match would have been nice to have a little extra content there, or even doing it the way they did it in like Apex and Contenders Korea, where instead of a best of five, you do a best of seven.
yeah,
Um, so I'd like to see that just so we can get a little more get more bang for our
a
buck
little
when it
more
comes to playoffs.
playtime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want the
because I
playoffs
think
to
a
feel
lot of the
epic.
Well, and I think some of the playoff, well, like I went to the Valiant watch party on
Yeah,
Friday and we had, a single match because it was already 2-0 from the previous day. And
exactly.
so we
Yeah.
watched for about an hour and then went, all right, well, I'd planned on being here with all these fans for about 4 hours and now we're all a little disappointed. Let's see if we can turn this party around. But
Hmm.
yeah, I can definitely see that. And I think hopefully we won't have a meta change before the playoffs this next season like we did for this season.
Yeah,
It was
that.
slight, but it made a difference.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a little more thought put into when things are going to take effect. Another thing I want to see is, well, this is pure wish fulfillment for me, and I think it's going to happen now. But for people who've been following the Overwatch scene for a while, there is a team that you'll hear thrown around a lot that's one of everyone's favorites because they are an amazing underdog story. Um, Runaway. Runaway from Korea. Oh my god, am I so ready to see Runaway in Overwatch League. I
Do you think they'll be
love
picked up
the
wholesale by one of the new teams?
I know that they want to be, that like the team kind of wants to stay together because they have a very like family environment, and like the guy who founded the team, who's a huge streamer in Korea, Runner, when he had to go do his compulsory military service, his wife Flowervin balanced taking care of their baby with running the team entirely herself, and she's been doing it like a boss.
Wow.
Yeah. And Runaway is this huge story, and if you get the chance to go back and like watch the old Apex stuff with them, please do that because they started off as an amateur team. They were doing like promotions matches. They had no official sponsors or anything, and they were like nothing in Apex Season 1. Apex Season 2, they take out the team that's going to be the NYXL in the semifinals. They
Wow.
get to second place in the most competitive tournament in the world, and they do it twice. They end up with 3 second place finishes overall against the best teams in Korea, coming within inches of beating the team that would eventually be. Basically, they've hung with Seoul Dynasty, London Spitfire, NYXL, the teams that would become those guys, beaten them on several occasions, with the exception of London Spitfire.
You'd
And,
think that some of the teams would have picked them up wholesale then.
well, here's the thing. Right before Overwatch League was Apex Season 3, I think. And Apex Season 3 was kind of a disaster for Runaway. Some roster changes and meta changes hit them at the wrong moment. And they went from like second place to I think like eighth or something. Like it was a big drop off, and even in interviews, Runner said like if we didn't drop the ball there, or we'd gotten the win in season 4, we would be an Overwatch League team. And like it's just a matter of they got hit with with a
Bad
few,
timing, bad
yeah,
luck.
bad timing, bad luck. A bunch of things just hit them at the exact wrong moment, and they finally they came in, I think, third or fourth Contenders Korea season 1, and they just won Contenders Korea season 2. They finally have their big tournament win,
And so now they
and
just need to capitalize it with the opening of these new Overwatch League teams.
exactly. And Flowervin said on her stream that they're getting a ton of offers, both individually and as a team. So basically, the
Here's hoping.
the decision making process comes down to the fact that Runner's still doing compulsory military service in Korea and can't really leave the country. Flowervin, has her baby and doesn't want to leave the country and leave her husband behind. Like, they kind of want to stay in Korea if possible. And also just making sure that they get good salaries and benefits for their players.
Yeah.
because, they're a family pretty much.
And I think the last thing I remember hearing for the average Overwatch League player salary was 50K a year, which is not bad.
Yeah, 50K a year is the minimum.
Okay, so I need to start playing pro level then, because
Why do you think I'm trying to grind my way into Masters and GM? I want that all money.
yeah, that would be helpful. So
Yeah.
you said you had three things that you wanted for this next season. What was the third?
The other thing is I want some Dallas Fuel success, man. They are my team. They have been my team for a really long time, and I think with the changes they've made to the coaching staff and the team sort of hitting their stride again, there's a huge upside for them.
They're better equipped now for the start of season two than they were for the start of season one.
Yeah, they've addressed a lot of the problems that they had. A lot of their weaknesses and difficulties have kind of been addressed. They're in a better sort of mentality. They've got coaching staff that kind of addresses all of their needs a little better. And now they've got pretty much everyone's ready to go, and all they need, I think, is like a top tier off tank and a top tier projectile DPS player.
And we have signings opening up in a couple days, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that they're gonna maybe pick up Void or Kalios.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
My wish fulfillment is fairly simple and probably not gonna happen, honestly. I personally, I'd love to see the Valiant pick up Geggery, but we know that's not gonna be a thing because Shanghai's not letting her go.
Mm-hmm.
Can't blame them. I want to see more women in Overwatch. I want more female players. They exist. They're out there. They're good. They need to be signed. It's not a publicity stunt. It's giving people who have the same level of skill, the same level of opportunity. And it's not like it's unheard of in the league. We have Geggery and everyone loves her.
Mm-hmm.
I want more, I want women on the desk. I want women shoutcasters. I just want more women involved in front of the camera for the league. They have a ton of women behind the camera. Their makeup team, their production team, and they are incredible human beings that I've had the fortune to meet on more than one occasion, and
Yeah,
they
they're
are
all really
just the best.
nice.
Yeah,
Everyone who
they
works
are.
there.
If you follow the esports makeup Instagram feed, it is a thing of wonder and glory. Um, but yeah, I don't want to discount their contributions because they are incredible. The issue is that a lot of people don't know they exist, and so they look for women in the league and they see Soe and Geggery, and that's it. And Soe and Geggery are both incredibly talented women. I don't want to discount their contributions because they've been wonderful for the league. I want more. So it's not just here is the only female host and here is the only female player. You got upwards of 100 players in the league. You can bring in more women and you can play them. This is not a difficult thing to do.
And you do know how
I
many players are gonna have to come in for the next season with all the with the new teams coming in and everyone who needs to refill their rosters, right?
Oh yeah. So many
They
players.
need more than 80 new players.
And if they say we couldn't find a single woman, I stand up and call every single one of
Mm-hmm.
you just need to look and open your eyes. I this is the hill I will die on for Overwatch. The game itself has gender parity, and for those of you unfamiliar with the term, it's parity, and that's equal genders, equal amounts of genders. If you think of Bastion as a gender, because we don't really know, honestly. Bastion is Bastion
Mm-hmm.
regardless. It's either gender parity or it's very close to it, and that is just about unheard of for for a video game at the tier that Overwatch is at.
For a
So
big
it's
competitive
incredible.
shooter game, it's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's all types of people with all types of body types, and it's absolutely incredible. And I wish the league would reflect that more. I really want more female
Mm-hmm.
players. Pie in the sky, I want one of the new teams to be all women. I would absolutely love for, say, the Washington, D.C. team that may or may not exist to have an entirely woman lineup.
I wouldn't be able to tell you who they'd get for it, but that would be pretty damn awesome.
Well, that's why it's pie in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the pro scene well enough myself to be able to say, yes, you should pick up this person, this person, this person, and that person, and this person as well. And there's your, like,
Mm.
I can't sit here and name names, but just given the numbers and even looking at Twitch and seeing the different number of Overwatch streamers that are out there, especially some of the streamers that were officially endorsed by Blizzard during
Mm.
the Pink Mercy campaign for the BCRF, I refuse to believe that there are no other pro level woman Overwatch players aside from Geggery. She's not a unicorn. There are more than one.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording, and then I don't know if she still plays Overwatch a ton because I haven't followed her super closely, but in the 2016 French Overwatch World Cup team, one of their players, their Anna Kitty, was a woman, and she did pretty well from what I remember. Though I admit I haven't gone back and rewatched a lot of that. Haven't rewatched a lot of the 2016 World Cup. Another one, I don't know if she's looking for a team, but Barcode. She's a really good hit scan DPS player, known for her McCree.
What a great name.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I love that. So yeah, so that is what I want to see from the league. I am not a difficult person to please, I don't think, but that's really really what I want is just more women in all aspects of the league and definitely more visible women in the league because we have some incredible visible women. We have some incredible women in front of the camera. We just don't have very many of them, and I really, really want more.
Also, let Zoe cast, please.
Yes! I am the person that brought the Let Zoe Shoutcast sign
Oh yeah.
into the league when I went. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was me. So I'm in, I'm down, I'd love to see it. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for those of you who have stuck with us through this intro episode. This is what it's going to be, a whole lot of meta, a whole lot of conversation, and a whole lot of opinions about a very, very solid game with some incredible characters and wonderful players.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts before we close out this first episode?
I'm really excited for like the official first episode because I've been watching these roster changes and you've seen me posting about them like
All the
every
time.
day, just like, oh, this is really cool, they could be doing this, they could be doing that, and I'm just, the amount of people who know what the hell I'm talking about is not many people. And I'm just ready to, I've got so much enthusiasm for all this, I'm just ready to let out.
And for those of you who are basically on my level of understanding, I get this game. I know how to play this game. I enjoy watching the league and I follow the team. Oh, there's a whole other level to this. I'm going to be learning about it. Y'all can learn about it with me. So, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow our Twitter. Our Twitter is On The Point Pod. We will be talking about Overwatch things, posting updates, posting episodes, all of that fun stuff. When we have an official podcast feed, we will let you know. For now, they live on my YouTube channel, which is Kiaxet, Kiaxet. CJ, what's your social media so people can follow you?
At the Rage Nerd, underscores between the words, but yeah, I will probably be talking a lot about Overwatch and Critical Role because I'm a huge nerd for that, and probably a lot about superhero comics as well because that's my other big problem. But yeah.
Yeah, so follow him there. And my social media, I'm all over the social media platforms, and they are all at Kiaxet, Kiaxet, same name as the YouTube channel. And I talk about Overwatch, talk about Voltron, talk about basically whatever tickles my fancy at the time, talk about my other hosting projects, the other videos on my channel. So yeah, check it out, follow us, follow the podcast. We will see you guys in episode 1. Thanks for listening.
See you next week. Stay classy, Internet.